Someone just complimented your work. And what did you say? Oh, it was nothing. Anyone could have done it. I just got lucky. You think that's humility. Nietzsche would call it self-destruct. And he's about to prove it to you in the next 15 minutes. Because here's what nobody tells you about being humble. It's not a virtue. It's a weapon. And you're using it on yourself. Welcome to Dark Truths. I'm here to break down Nietzsche's most uncomfortable ideas philosophy that doesn't just make you think, it makes you act. If you're done shrinking yourself and ready to claim your actual worth, hit subscribe. 2 to 3 videos every week. Let's begin. Here's the lie you've been told your entire life. Don't brag. Don't show off. Be humble. Modesty is a virtue, and you believed it. You learned to downplay your achievements, deflect compliments, hide your ambition, make yourself smaller so others feel comfortable. But Nietzsche saw through this immediately. He asked one simple question that destroys the entire concept. Who benefits when you stay humble? Not you. Never you. The people who taught you to be humble, your parents, teachers, society, they benefit. Because your humility keeps you manageable, predictable, and threatening. It keeps you from outshining them. Nietzsche called this slave morality, a moral system designed by the weak to control the strong. And humility is its primary tool. Think about it. Who actually tells you to stay humble? It's never people above you. Successful people don't tell other successful people to be more humble. They recognize achievement. They celebrate it. It's always people at your level or below. People who feel threatened by your growth. People who need you to stay small so they don't have to confront their own mediocrity. Stay humble really means, don't make me feel bad about myself by being too successful. Don't force me to question my own choices by achieving too much. It's not about you, it's about them, and you're sacrificing your potential to manage their insecurity. Here's what Nietzsche understood that most people refuse to admit. Humility is self-betrayal. Every time you downplay your worth, you're telling yourself and the world that you don't deserve recognition, that your achievements don't matter, that you're not worth celebrating. And your brain believes it. Your unconscious mind doesn't distinguish between false humility and genuine unworthiness. It just hears you repeatedly saying, "I'm not that good," and starts treating it as fact. So what does this cost you? Because if you think being humble is harmless, you're not paying attention. Cost number 1. You program yourself for mediocrity. Every achievement you minimize becomes evidence that you're not actually capable. Every compliment you deflect reinforces that you don't deserve recognition. Every time you say it was nothing, you're training your brain to believe it. You're literally programming yourself to underachieve. Not consciously, but consistently. Nietzsche wrote, "The snake which cannot cast its skin has to die." You know what that means? If you can't shed your false humility, you cannot grow. You stay trapped in the skin of someone smaller than who you could become. Cost number 2. You attract the wrong opportunities. When you constantly minimize your capabilities, the world takes you at your word. That promotion goes to someone who confidently stated their worth. That client chose the person who owned their expertise. That relationship went to someone who didn't apologize for being impressive. You're not being passed over because you're not good enough. You're being passed over because you keep telling everyone you're not good enough. And they believe you. Nietzsche said, in individuals, insanity is rare, but in groups, parties, nations, and epochs, it is the rule. You know what's insane? Expecting the world to value you more than you value yourself. Cost number 3. You betray your potential. Somewhere inside you, there's a version of yourself that's unapologetic, confident, ambitious, willing to be great. But every time you choose humility over honesty, you kill that version a little more. You had ideas you didn't share because it might seem like showing off. Skills you didn't demonstrate because it might make others uncomfortable. Goals you didn't pursue because wanting them seemed modest. And that version of you that could have been great, it's dying, slowly, quietly, suffocated by your humility. If this is hitting close to home, hit that like button. Because recognizing the problem is the first step to solving it. And we're about to solve it right now. All right, diagnosis complete. Costs counted. Now, what Nietzsche actually proposes instead of humility. And I'm warning you, this will make you uncomfortable. Because his solution isn't be more confident Instagram advice. It's a complete reorientation of how you see yourself and your worth. Nietzsche's framework has 3 stages: recognition, revaluation, and reclamation. Let me break them down. Phase 1. Recognition. See where your humility comes from. Your humility isn't natural. It's conditioned. You learned it, which means you can unlearn it. For the next 48 hours, notice every time you minimize yourself. Count them. When someone compliments you and you deflect. When you accomplish something and downplay it. When you have an achievement and hide it. Just observe. Don't judge yourself. Just see it clearly. Nietzsche would say you re-identifying your slave morality moments, times when you've subordinated your truth to someone else's comfort. Phase 2. Revaluation. Question where these values came from. Ask yourself, why do I believe humility is good? Who taught me that? Who benefits when I stay humble? What would I do if I didn't have to be modest? This is uncomfortable. You might discover that most of your humility isn't virtue, it's fear. Fear of judgment. Fear of standing out. Fear of being tall enough that others feel small. Nietzsche wrote, "There are no facts, only interpretations." Your interpretation that humility is virtuous? It's just that, an interpretation. Not truth. Not law. Just one way of seeing things. And probably not even your way. Probably someone else's way that you adopted without question. So question it now. What if humility isn't a virtue? What if it's a cage? What changes? Phase 3. Reclamation. Take back your right to be proud. This is where Nietzsche separates from everyone else. He doesn't just want you to understand humility is false. He wants you to actively reclaim your pride, to become unapologetically confident in your worth. Here's the framework. Step 1. State your achievements accurately. Not inflated. Not minimized, accurate. Someone compliments your work. Thank you. I'm proud of it. That's it. No, it was nothing. No, I got lucky. Just honest acknowledgement. This will feel wrong at first. Your conditioning will scream you're being arrogant. Ignore it. That's the slave morality trying to pull you back down. Nietzsche distinguished between healthy pride and toxic arrogance. Pride says, I did well. Arrogance says, I'm better than you. Completely different. Step 2. Stop apologizing for your ambition. You want more. Say it. You're aiming higher. Own it. You're pursuing excellence. Stop hiding it behind false modesty. Nietzsche's concept of will to power isn't about dominating others. It's about fully expressing your capabilities without apology, without shrinking, without pretending to want less than you do. The people who need you to apologize for your ambition, they're not your people. They're weights. And Nietzsche would tell you to let them go. Step 3. Build what Nietzsche called self-reverence. This is deeper than confidence. Self-reverence means treating yourself like someone who matters, someone whose achievements deserve recognition, someone whose time and energy are valuable. Here's the practice. Every evening, write down 3 things you did well that day. Not things you got lucky with. Things you actively accomplished through your skill, effort, intelligence. And here's the critical part. Don't minimize them. Don't add qualifiers. Just state them as facts. I delivered an excellent presentation. Not I did okay. I solved a complex problem. Not I figured out a small thing. I was a good friend today. Not I tried to be decent. This reprograms your brain. You're teaching yourself that your worth is real. Your contributions matter. Your achievements count. Nietzsche said, become who you are. You know what that means? Stop being who others need you to be. Stop performing humility. Start being honest about your worth. Step 4. Surround yourself with people who celebrate achievement, not suppress it. Nietzsche was obsessed with the concept of noble morality, a value system where strength is celebrated, excellence is honored, achievement is recognized. Find people who operate on noble morality. They exist. They're the ones who say that's amazing when you succeed, not don't get a big head. They're the ones who push you higher, not pull you down to their level. And distance yourself from the ones who need you humble. Not because they're bad people, but because their comfort requires your limitation. And that's a price you can't afford anymore. Comment below. What's one achievement you've been downplaying? Let's practice stating it accurately, right now. No minimizing, just truth. Now let me tell you what actually happens when you stop being humble. First, you lose people. Guaranteed. The ones who needed you small will be uncomfortable. They'll call you arrogant. They'll say you've changed. They'll be offended by your confidence. And they're not entirely wrong. You are changing. You're becoming someone who values themselves accurately instead of minimizing themselves constantly. That is a change. And yes, it threatens people who benefited from your humility. Let them be uncomfortable. Nietzsche would say their discomfort is their problem to solve, not yours to manage. Second, you gain clarity. When you stop filtering everything through "will this seem humble enough?" you suddenly have so much mental space. Decisions become easier. Goals become clearer. Action becomes faster. Because you're not running every choice through a committee of imaginary judges anymore. You're just asking, is this aligned with who I'm becoming? Third, opportunities appear. Not because the world suddenly changed. Because you changed. You started stating your worth accurately, owning your capabilities, pursuing your ambitions without apology. And the world, which was always listening, finally heard what you're actually capable of. Nietzsche wrote, "The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe." You're done being overwhelmed. You're done shrinking. You're done apologizing for being capable. You're becoming what Nietzsche called the ubermensch, not superior to others, but fully actualized in yourself. Someone who creates their own values, defines their own worth, lives on their own terms. That's not arrogance. That's honesty. That's what you become when you stop betraying yourself with false humility. Here's your challenge for the next 7 days. Practice accurate self-assessment. Not inflation, not minimization, accuracy. When you do something well, acknowledge it. When someone compliments you, accept it. When you achieve something, own it. Track what happens. I guarantee you'll discover that the consequences you feared, the judgment, the rejection, the isolation, they're nowhere near as bad as the slow death of staying humble. And here's what most people won't tell you: the fear of being arrogant. That fear is a gift. It means you have a conscience. Actually, arrogant people don't worry about being arrogant. So stop worrying. Start being honest about your worth. The world needs what you're capable of, but only if you stop hiding it behind humility. This is Dark Truths. Stay dangerous.